Scientists have discovered something remarkable about the human brain. Every experience, even the painful ones, creates neural pathways that prepare us for future success. That job you despised, it taught you exactly what you don't want, giving you laser focus on what you do. Those sleepless nights worrying about your future, they were building your resilience muscle, making you stronger than you ever imagined possible. Think about this for a moment. A butterfly doesn't waste time in its cocoon. It's transforming. Every second of that dark, confined space is necessary for the miracle that follows. You've been in your cocoon too, haven't you? All those moments you thought were meaningless were actually your transformation chamber. Here's what most people don't realize. Time isn't linear in the way we experience growth. A single moment of clarity can make up for years of confusion. One breakthrough can compensate for decades of struggle. It's like compound interest, but for your soul. Every setback was depositing wisdom into your account, and now you're ready to cash in. Have you ever noticed how your biggest failures led to your greatest victories? That's not coincidence. That's the universe's perfect timing in action. Research shows that people who overcome significant challenges develop what psychologists call post-traumatic growth. They become more grateful, more resilient, more connected to their purpose than those who sailed through life easily. Your tears weren't wasted. They were watering the seeds of your future self. But here's the part that will blow your mind. Quantum physics tells us that time itself is flexible. Past, present, and future aren't fixed points, but flowing experiences that influence each other. When you finally step into your purpose, it doesn't just change your future, it transforms the meaning of your past. Suddenly, every struggle becomes a stepping stone. Every closed door becomes a redirection toward something better. So I'm asking you directly, are you ready to stop seeing yourself as a victim of lost time and start recognizing yourself as a graduate of life's toughest university? Because the person you've become through all that pain, that person is equipped with something precious that no shortcut could have given you: depth, compassion, unshakable strength. The universe isn't done with you yet. In fact, it's just getting started. Every moment you thought was wasted was actually an investment in the masterpiece you're becoming. And the return on that investment? It's about to exceed your wildest dreams. Chapter 2. The first sign, inner healing. Something strange is happening inside you right now, and you might not even realize it yet. That heaviness you've carried for so long, you know the one I'm talking about. It's starting to lift. Can you feel it? That subtle shift, like someone just opened a window in a room that's been closed for years. Here's what's really happening. Your nervous system has been stuck in survival mode for longer than you remember. Medical research shows that chronic stress literally rewires our brain, keeping us trapped in fight or flight responses that were meant to be temporary. But something powerful is breaking that cycle. Your body is finally getting the signal that it's safe to heal. Have you noticed you're sleeping differently lately? Maybe you're waking up without that familiar dread in your stomach, or perhaps that knot in your chest, the one that's been your constant companion, is loosening just a little bit each day. This isn't wishful thinking. This is your autonomic nervous system shifting from chaos to calm. Scientists call it neuroplasticity, your brain's incredible ability to rewire itself. Every moment of peace you experience is literally creating new neural pathways. Those old grooves of pain and worry, they're being overwritten by patterns of healing and hope. It's like your mind is performing surgery on itself, removing the scar tissue that's been blocking your joy. But here's where it gets fascinating. When emotional healing begins, your body follows. The Mayo Clinic has documented how emotional trauma stores itself in our muscles, our organs, even our immune system. That chronic back pain you've had for years, those mysterious headaches, that exhaustion that no amount of sleep could fix. They're not just in your head, they're in your body's memory. And now, that memory is being rewritten. You might find yourself standing straighter without thinking about it. Colors might seem a bit brighter. Food might actually taste good again. Your reflection in the mirror might catch you off guard. Not because you look different, but because you're seeing yourself with kinder eyes for the first time in forever. This is what happens when trauma leaves the building. It doesn't slam the door. It quietly packs its bags and slips away when you're not looking. One day you realize you haven't had that crushing anxiety in your chest for weeks. When did it leave? You can't even remember. But here's the most incredible part. This healing isn't just making you feel better, it's making space. Space for dreams you forgot you had. Space for energy you thought was gone forever. Space for the person you were always meant to become. Your body is preparing for something magnificent. It's clearing out the old wounds to make room for new possibilities. Every deep breath you take now is different from the shallow, anxious breathing of your past. You're not just surviving anymore, you're being prepared to thrive. Can you feel it? That quiet revolution happening in your cells, in your spirit, in the very core of who you are? This is just the beginning. Your healing is the foundation, and the universe is about to build something beautiful on top of it. Chapter 3. The second sign, unexpected blessings. Have you ever felt like something beautiful is about to happen, but you can't explain why? That quiet knowing in your heart, like the universe is about to surprise you? That's not just a feeling. That's the next sign. A wave of unexpected blessings is already on its way. And no, it's not just money or luck. It's deeper than that. It's the kind of abundance that touches your soul. A stranger offers help when you least expect it. An opportunity shows up without warning. A moment of peace washes over you in the middle of chaos. Have you noticed these little miracles lately? These aren't coincidences, they're reminders. The universe is working behind the scenes, putting the right people, the right moments, the right doors in your path. Even the small things, like a sudden compliment, a free coffee, or a smile on a hard day, carry powerful energy. They whisper, "You're supported. You're not alone." Can you feel it? The shift? That sense that things are finally turning in your favor? You're not imagining it. The universe is restoring more than lost time. It's giving you what was always meant for you. So take a breath. Be open. The next blessing is already on its way. Chapter 4. The third sign, desire to serve others. You're scrolling through your phone, and suddenly you see a post about someone struggling. Your heart clenches, not with pity, but with this overwhelming urge to reach out, to help, to do something. When did this happen? When did other people's pain start mattering so much that it physically hurts you to ignore it? This isn't weakness. This is your superpower awakening. Harvard Medical School has conducted groundbreaking research on what they call helper's high. the neurochemical rush that occurs when we help others. But here's the fascinating part. This response is strongest in people who have survived significant personal trauma. Your pain didn't break you. It rewired your brain for empathy at a level most people will never experience. Remember when you could barely take care of yourself? When getting through each day felt like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops? Look at you now. You're not just surviving. You're looking around asking, who else needs help climbing this mountain? That's not coincidence. That's transformation. Scientists have discovered something incredible about post-traumatic growth. People who overcome severe challenges don't just return to their previous state. They develop what researchers call enhanced empathic capacity. Your nervous system, once hypervigilant for your own survival, has now expanded to detect the suffering of others. You've become an emotional radar for pain, and more importantly, a beacon of hope for healing. But here's what's really happening inside you. When you help someone else, your brain releases the same chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, that it produces when you're in love or achieving a major goal. You're literally getting high off making other people's lives better. Your body is rewarding you for being the person you needed when you were drowning. The Mayo Clinic has documented that people who regularly volunteer live longer, have lower rates of depression, and report higher life satisfaction than those who don't. But it goes deeper than that. When you serve others from a place of genuine compassion, not obligation or guilt, you're actually completing your own healing cycle. Every person you help is receiving the care your past self desperately needed. And here's the most beautiful part. You're not helping despite your pain. You're helping because of it. Your scars have become your credentials. Your wounds have become your wisdom. Every tear you shed in your darkness is now a lighthouse for someone else lost at sea. This desire to serve isn't draining you like it used to when you helped from an empty cup. Now you're helping from overflow, from abundance, from a heart so full of gratitude for your own rescue that it can't help but spill over onto everyone around you. You've stopped asking, why did this happen to me? And started asking, how can I use this to help others? That shift, that single question, changes everything. It transforms your pain from a prison into a purpose. The fourth sign, inner strength and resilience. Something happened to you yesterday that would have destroyed the old version of yourself. Maybe it was bad news, a difficult conversation, or just one of those days when everything seemed to go wrong. But here's the thing. You handled it. Not only did you handle it, you handled it with a calm that surprised even you. When did you become this person? When did you become unbreakable? The American Psychological Association has spent decades studying what they call stress inoculation, the phenomenon where surviving trauma actually builds immunity to future stress. Your brain has literally been rewired by adversity. Those neural pathways that once carried panic now carry power. What used to send you into a tailspin now barely registers as a blip on your emotional radar. Think about the person you were 5 years ago. Remember how that phone call at 2 a.m. would have sent you spiraling for weeks? How a criticism from your boss would have ruined your entire month? How a friend's betrayal would have shattered your world? Now look at yourself today. That same phone call might keep you up for one night. That criticism rolls off your back. Betrayal stings, but it doesn't devastate. You've become emotionally bulletproof, and you don't even know how it happened. Neuroscientists studying resilience have discovered something incredible. Every time you survived something that felt impossible, your brain laid down what they call mastery pathways. These are neural superhighways that bypass fear and connect directly to your problem-solving abilities. You now have a mental library of victories that your subconscious can access instantly when faced with new challenges. But here's what's really happening inside you. That quiet confidence you feel, it's not arrogance, it's evidence. Evidence that you've been tested by fire and emerged as pure gold. Your nervous system has learned something profound. You are not fragile. You are not breakable. You are not someone who crumbles under pressure. Military researchers studying elite soldiers have found that true resilience isn't about becoming numb to pain. It's about developing what they call cognitive flexibility, the ability to find multiple solutions to any problem, the capacity to see setbacks as setups for comebacks, the wisdom to know that no storm lasts forever. You've developed this warrior mindset without even trying. When did you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? When did you stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones? When did you realize that every single thing that tried to break you actually made you stronger? Stanford University research shows that people who view stress as enhancing rather than debilitating actually perform better under pressure and live longer. Your body has learned to use stress as fuel instead of poison. Your heart rate increases not from fear, but from excitement. Your mind sharpens not from anxiety, but from focus. You've become someone who thrives in chaos, while others merely survive. The most remarkable part? This strength isn't something you have to maintain or protect. It's woven into the fabric of who you are now. It's as natural as breathing, as automatic as your heartbeat, as permanent as your DNA. You are no longer becoming strong. You simply are strong. And the universe is about to show you exactly what that strength was designed to accomplish. The fifth sign, reconnecting with your purpose. You wake up this morning and for the first time in years, you're not dreading the day ahead. There's this strange pull in your chest, like a compass needle finally finding true north. You can't explain it, but you know exactly what you need to do today. When did clarity replace confusion? When did certainty replace that endless questioning that used to keep you up at night? This isn't motivation. This is alignment. And your soul recognizes the difference. Researchers at the University of Rochester discovered something profound about people who live with purpose. Their telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that determine cellular aging, are significantly longer than those who feel directionless. Living on purpose doesn't just make you feel younger. It literally makes your cells younger. Your DNA is responding to your alignment with something greater than yourself. But here's what nobody tells you about finding your purpose. It doesn't announce itself with fireworks and grand revelations. It whispers. It starts with tiny moments of, yes, this feels right. Maybe it's the way your energy shifts when you're helping that coworker figure out a problem. Maybe it's how time disappears when you're working on that project everyone else finds boring. Maybe it's the strange satisfaction you get from organizing chaos into order. You used to dismiss these moments as random preferences. Now you're starting to recognize them as breadcrumbs leading you home. MIT neuroscientists studying flow states have found that when people engage in purpose aligned activities, their brain waves synchronize in ways that only occur during peak performance. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision making, literally lights up differently when you're doing what you're meant to do. It's not just that you're good at it, your brain is designed for it. Think about the last time someone asked you for advice and you found yourself saying things that surprised even you. Where did that wisdom come from? How did you know exactly what they needed to hear? That wasn't luck. That was your authentic self speaking through years of experience, filtering through your unique perspective, emerging as something only you could offer. Psychology. Today, research shows that people living in alignment with their values and purpose report 67% higher life satisfaction and 40% lower rates of anxiety and depression. But the most fascinating finding, their decisions become effortless. That paralysis you used to feel when facing choices, gone. You now have an internal GPS that automatically guides you toward what serves not just you, but everyone around you. Remember when you used to ask, "What should I do with my life?" Like it was this impossible riddle. Now you're asking, "How can I use my gifts to make things better?" That shift from seeking to serving, that's when everything clicks into place. Your past pain becomes your credential. Your struggles become your story. Your mess becomes your message. You're not just finding your purpose, you're becoming it. Every conversation, every choice, every breath is now an expression of who you were always meant to be. The universe didn't give you a purpose to find. It gave you experiences to forge you into your purpose. And in this alignment, something magical happens. The chaos around you doesn't disappear, but your relationship with it completely transforms. The sixth sign, unshakable peace. Your phone is buzzing with crisis messages. Your inbox is exploding with urgent demands. The news is screaming about disasters. Traffic is backed up for miles. And you? You're sitting in the middle of this tornado of chaos. And something impossible is happening. You're not stressed. You're not panicked. You're not even worried. You're calm. Deeply, mysteriously, inexplicably calm. When did this happen? When did you become the eye of every storm? Johns Hopkins Medical School has conducted groundbreaking research on what they call stress resilience. They found that people who've undergone significant life transformation develop what scientists term parasympathetic dominance. Their nervous system defaults to calm instead of chaos. Your body has literally rewired itself to choose peace over panic as its natural state. But this isn't the kind of peace you get from meditation apps or breathing exercises. This is different. This is cellular. This peace lives in your bones, flows through your blood, and operates independently of your circumstances. It's like having a built-in shock absorber for your soul. Remember last week when that crisis hit? The old you would have been up all night, mind racing, stomach churning, creating worst-case scenarios. But instead, you handled it. You made the calls, solved the problems, and slept like a baby that night. Your friends asked how you stayed so calm, and you couldn't even explain it. You just were. Harvard researchers studying emotional regulation discovered something fascinating. People who maintain inner peace during external chaos show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex and decreased activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center. Your brain has essentially learned to bypass panic and go straight to problem solving. You're not suppressing emotions. You're processing them through a completely different neural pathway. Here's what's really happening inside you. Your nervous system has learned something profound. You are not your circumstances. You are the space in which circumstances occur. That job loss, relationship drama, health scare, family crisis, they're weather patterns passing through the sky of your consciousness. You've become the sky, not the weather. The Mayo Clinic has documented that people with this level of inner stability have 32% lower cortisol levels, stronger immune systems, and significantly better cardiovascular health. Your peace isn't just emotional, it's medicinal. Your calm is literally healing your body from the inside out. But the most incredible part isn't how peaceful you feel. It's how your peace affects everyone around you. Have you noticed how people gravitate towards you now when they're stressed? How they seek your advice during their storms? You've become a human sanctuary. Your presence alone calms rooms. Your voice soothes fears. Your energy stabilizes chaos. This isn't a superpower you developed. This is who you were always meant to be once all the noise got stripped away. Every storm you survived wasn't breaking you. It was revealing the unshakable foundation that was always there. You aren't learning to be peaceful. You're remembering that peace is your natural state. And now, as this profound tranquility settles deeper into your being, something even more transformative is stirring within you. A hunger for connection that goes beyond the physical world. Chapter 8. The Seventh Sign. Deep Spiritual Connection. 3 in the morning. You should be sleeping, but instead you're staring at stars through your bedroom window, and something is stirring inside your chest. It's not anxiety this time. It's not worry keeping you awake. It's something else entirely. Something that feels like homesickness, but for a place you've never been. A longing so deep it makes your soul ache with beautiful sadness. When did you start feeling like a stranger in your own life? When did the material world start feeling like a costume you're tired of wearing? You walk into stores that used to excite you and nothing calls to you anymore. The latest gadgets, the trendy clothes, the fancy restaurants, they all feel hollow, like empty shells on a beach. But yesterday, when you saw that sunset, you actually stopped your car and cried, not from sadness, but from recognition, like you were remembering something ancient and sacred that you'd forgotten you knew. This isn't depression. This is awakening. And your soul is stretching after a very long sleep. Neuroscientists at the University of Pennsylvania have been studying what happens in the brains of people experiencing spiritual awakening. Using advanced imaging, they discovered that spiritual practices literally rewire neural networks, creating new connections between the parietal lobe and frontal cortex. These are the same connections found in people who report feeling one with the universe. Your brain is physically restructuring itself to perceive reality on a deeper level. But here's what's really happening to you. That restlessness you feel, that sense that there must be more than this endless cycle of work, sleep, eat, repeat, that's not dissatisfaction. That's your higher self knocking on the door of your conscious mind, saying, "It's time, we have work to do." Have you noticed how different books are catching your attention now? how you're drawn to conversations about meaning instead of gossip, how you find yourself wanting to sit in silence instead of filling every moment with noise. Stanford University research shows that people undergoing spiritual transformation experience what they call enhanced interoception, an increased awareness of their internal states and connection to something greater than themselves. You're not losing your mind, you're finding your soul. The Harvard Divinity School conducted a 20-year study following people through spiritual awakening. They found that this hunger for deeper connection typically emerges after significant life challenges, as if suffering cracks open the shell of ego to reveal the infinite spirit inside. Your pain wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Every moment of darkness was making space for this light to enter. But this isn't about joining a religion or following someone else's rules. This is about direct experience. It's about those moments when you're washing dishes and suddenly feel connected to every person who has ever washed dishes. When you're walking in nature and realize the same atoms in your body were once inside stars. When you look at a stranger and feel inexplicable love for them, even though you've never met. UCLA researchers studying meditation and prayer have discovered that regular spiritual practice increases gray matter in areas of the brain associated with compassion, emotional regulation, and sense of self. But more importantly, it decreases activity in what they call the default mode network, the part of your brain that creates the illusion of separation between you and everything else. You're not just connecting with the divine, you're remembering that you are divine. Those moments of prayer or meditation that used to feel forced or empty, now they feel like coming home. That voice you used to dismiss as imagination, you're starting to recognize it as guidance. Those synchronicities that used to seem like coincidence, you now see them as conversations with the universe. The most beautiful part isn't the peace you feel during these sacred moments. It's how that peace follows you into your ordinary day, how grocery shopping becomes a meditation, how conversations become opportunities for love, how every interaction becomes a chance to see the divine in human form. You've stopped asking if God exists and started asking how you can be more like God. You've stopped seeking heaven somewhere else and started creating it right here. You've stopped waiting for spiritual experiences and started recognizing that every breath, every heartbeat, every moment of consciousness is itself a miracle. This spiritual hunger isn't taking you away from the world. It's bringing you deeper into it, but from a completely different perspective. And as this sacred awareness expands within you, something magnificent is about to unfold. Chapter 9, The Eighth Sign, Clarity of Thought. You're in the middle of explaining something to a friend, and the words flowing out of your mouth surprise even you. Where is this wisdom coming from? Since when do you speak with such certainty, such crystal clear understanding? You used to stumble through conversations, second-guessing every thought, clouded by doubt and mental fog. Now your mind cuts through complexity like a laser through smoke. Something has shifted behind your eyes, something profound and unmistakable. Remember those nights when your thoughts felt like tangled Christmas lights, each problem twisted around another until you couldn't tell where one issue ended and another began. Remember lying awake, your mind spinning in circles, unable to see clearly through the chaos of your own thinking? That version of you feels like a stranger now, doesn't it? MIT researchers studying cognitive enhancement have discovered something fascinating about the human brain under stress versus the brain in alignment. When we're fighting against our circumstances, our prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO, gets hijacked by survival systems. But when we align with our authentic path, this same region experiences what they call enhanced executive function. Your thinking doesn't just get clearer, it gets supercharged. But this isn't just about making better grocery lists or solving work problems more efficiently. This is about seeing patterns that were invisible before. It's about understanding people's motivations, not through judgment, but through compassion. It's about recognizing opportunities disguised as obstacles and blessings, wrapped in apparent disasters. Have you noticed how quickly you can read situations now? How you walk into a room and immediately sense the energy? How you can predict how conversations will unfold before they even begin? The University of California studied individuals experiencing what they call heightened perceptual awareness and found their brains show increased connectivity between the analytical and intuitive processing centers. You're not becoming psychic, you're becoming integrated. Your mind used to be like a browser with 50 tabs open, each one demanding attention, slowing down the whole system. Now it's like having the most advanced processor ever created, running smoothly, efficiently, with laser focus on what actually matters. Those decisions that used to keep you paralyzed for weeks, you make them in minutes now, not impulsively, but with a deep knowing that transcends logic. Princeton University's neuroscience department has documented something remarkable in people experiencing this level of mental clarity. Their brain scans show what researchers call synchronized coherence, different regions of the brain working in perfect harmony, like a symphony orchestra, where every musician knows exactly when to play their part. This is your mind on purpose. This is your consciousness aligned with something greater than itself. But here's the most incredible part. This clarity isn't making you cold or purely logical. It's making you more compassionate. You see through people's defenses to their pain. You understand that their anger is fear, their cruelty is hurt, their closed hearts are protection mechanisms. You don't take things personally anymore because you can see the whole story, not just the chapter they're acting out in front of you. The Harvard Medical School has found that people with this level of mental clarity show dramatically reduced activity in the brain's rumination network, the area responsible for repetitive, anxious thinking. Your mind has learned to distinguish between productive problem solving and pointless worry. You've developed what psychologists call metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own thoughts without being enslaved by them. You're not just thinking more clearly, you're thinking from a higher altitude. From up here, you can see the whole landscape of your life. The valleys that once seemed like dead ends now reveal themselves as necessary detours. The mountains that looked impossible to climb now show you the exact path to the summit. And as this extraordinary clarity settles deeper into your consciousness, something even more profound begins to emerge from the depths of your being. Chapter 10. The ninth sign. Healing relationships. Life has a strange way of circling back. Just when you think it's too late, just when you've made peace with the silence, something shifts. A message arrives. A voice you haven't heard in years suddenly feels close. And your heart, it starts to remember. This isn't just coincidence. When your soul is aligning with a higher purpose, the universe begins to rearrange the people in your life. Those who left because the timing wasn't right, they reappear. But not in the same way. They come back with softer words, deeper understanding, and hearts that have also done their healing. Have you noticed it? The conversations that used to end in frustration now feel easier, more patient. The anger that used to rise without warning, it's quieter now. That's because something in you has changed. Healing relationships always starts with healing yourself. Once your perspective shifts, once you learn to see through the eyes of compassion, others begin to reflect that same energy back to you. You begin to realize that most broken connections weren't about hatred, they were about pain. Two people hurting at the same time, speaking from fear instead of love. But love, real love, is never truly lost. It hides, it waits. And when the moment is right, it finds a way back. Isn't it beautiful to think that maybe, just maybe, the ones who were meant to walk beside you never truly left? They were just paused, waiting for both hearts to be ready. Science even tells us that relationships affect the brain more deeply than we realize. Restored relationships can reduce anxiety, boost serotonin, and even extend your lifespan. That's the power of emotional peace. When we reconnect with those we once loved, or open ourselves to new aligned connections, our entire body responds with calm, balance, and healing. And it doesn't stop with the past. Once you're open to healing, your energy changes. You start attracting people who are emotionally mature, spiritually aligned, and ready for something real. You stop chasing, stop forcing, and simply allow. And in that allowing, magic happens. Have you ever met someone new and felt like you've known them forever? That's alignment. That's what happens when you let go of old patterns, forgive what hurt you, and create space for better. So take a moment right now. Breathe. Think of someone who once mattered to you. Maybe it ended badly. Maybe there were words said in pain. Can you see them now through a new lens? Can you imagine what healing might look like? Not for the sake of going backward, but for the sake of peace? Because healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering with love instead of pain. And as your life continues to unfold, as the signs grow clearer and your purpose more defined, you'll see that restoration was never about them alone. It was about you, your growth, your readiness, your heart learning to beat again without armor. So when that unexpected message comes, when someone from the past reaches out, listen. Don't just hear their words. Listen with your whole heart. Maybe, just maybe, the universe has brought you both back for a reason. Because the most powerful kind of healing is the one that makes room for love to begin again.